back to Alpha Mods. Today I just want to go over the top 3 mods that I would do to my Alpha if I was going to restart all the modding from the beginning, and if I was going to focus solely on having a good budget and not exceeding that with buying parts and then replacing them when I don't like them. So this is going to be my top 3. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about the Squadra Tune, because that's one of the best bang for the bucks type of mods that I've done to this car. It's leaps and bounds beyond at least some of the boxes that I've tried. Madness Power Pro, that was great and everything, but I just didn't like not necessarily the delivery of the power, but how it's kind of intertwined into the car. Like this one, basically when I'm in dynamic mode, I get my full boost. Everything feels so much quicker in the mid-range and the low range. It feels like the car wants to push you along, and it's really cool to be able to have that only in D mode. And when I go into N mode, everything goes back to kind of normal. If I want to go back into A, I can start hitting economy. I've seen up to 37 miles per gallon. So I'm very impressed with that as far as that. I like that basically no matter what conditions, my engine temperature stays below 4 bars. So that's really nice. Squadra just really put a lot of thought in engineering into their tune, and I think that is, if you're going to do performance mods, you're not going to get much more than that unless you go to a hybrid turbo and get the according tune with that. But I mean, basically it's going to do more than putting in intake, more than putting in an exhaust, because on these cars the stock turbo is going to be your power limiter. So you're going to be stuck around 320 horsepower no matter what. And if you're going to do it with a tune, you might as well do it with a good tune. And Squadra is definitely that. In conjunction, you can get things done like exhaust and whatnot. I mean, I have the Centerline, so if you want to hear that, we can just give it a little rev there. But yeah, that's a supporting mod to the Squadra. So I'm hoping that I'm around like 320-ish horsepower, and that's, I'm happy with that. I mean, this car, it gets moving, it rolls, it feels great, and definitely happy with the Squadra Tune, to say the least. That's awesome. My second favorite mod to this car is, I'm going to group this together. It's basically all the carbon fiber. There is a difference between overseas carbon that come from Chinese manufacturers and manufacturers like Koshi. This piece right here is Koshi. So you can tell the difference between Koshi versus like this that comes from overseas. It's in person, it's really a more of a dramatic detail. But I kind of just want to go over a little bit of the carbon. The price is obviously going to be much higher on Koshi, but still, my second favorite mod to this car is going to be the carbon fiber pieces that you get with it. So this was purchased from Koshi, which has a beautiful weave. It's a little bit larger than OEM, but you're getting this matte clear coat that is then cleared with a gloss, so you get that nice ghosted effect. This is going to be an example of a piece that you would get from overseas. If you wanted to save money and you didn't want to buy from Madness, you can buy that from Ali. It's going to take a little bit of time to get to you, but you're going to save about 50% off of what larger companies are going to be selling it from. This is another Koshi piece purchased from Madness. I mean, the weave is beautiful. I mean, the detail just shows itself. There is a difference between carbon fibers, and that's definitely noticeable. Again, we have overseas carbon as well as some overseas carbon, but I mean the fit and finishment, it's phenomenal. This is Koshi as well, and so you can see it directly in the comparison. It's a little dirty here, but overseas versus Koshi. I mean, this is much higher quality carbon fiber. You're not going to get much better than that. we'll go along to the other side. I should be getting the QV fenders soon. I'm going to get those in paint, and that's going to be really nice to get that done. We'll come back here to the spoiler. Now, these spoilers you can get from so many different manufacturers, but honestly, save yourself some money. Just buy it from eBay. I mean, this one was like 110, and it is a like actual 100% carbon piece. It's not a fiberglass mold with a carbon fiber overlay. It's legit. And then finally, I made an entire video about this diffuser, but it's literally my favorite carbon fiber piece. I mean, without it, the look is just not there. I mean, this thing is phenomenal with that. So my third favorite mod for this car is going to be the Centerline Exhaust. It's just so family friendly, and it sounds so like sporty and aggressive when it needs to be. I'm going to throw some clips into that. But basically, it's something you can bolt on yourself. You don't need a shop. I chose to get it welded in, but that was just for my peace of mind. You don't have to do that. And you can also add quad tips to it, and I think that's, you know, something awesome. I mean, look at that. It looks beautiful. So that's probably my third favorite thing on this car. As far as reliability with this car, I've already done 3 oil changes, the serpentine belt, the spark plugs, the air filter, the cabin air filter, and I'm sure there's a few things that, you know, I'm forgetting, but I've kept up with my maintenance very well, and I think the car has definitely given me back, you know, just tons of reliability. I have not had to take this car into Alpha once, and when I run into problems, because I have MES, which is multi-scan ECU, you know, I can diagnose a lot of the electrical gremlins and things like that. I think that's a must-have if you own an Alpha. Even if you plan on letting the dealership do everything, still it's a must-have so that you can figure out what's going on with your car and whether or not you need to get it towed or, you know, this or that. But as far as reliability, I mean, this car has done so well. It's definitely not lived up to its, you know, supposed breaking down every 5 minutes kind of thing. I have not had that experience whatsoever at all. I do have Mopar Max Care. I was able to purchase that from Tom Winkles, which everybody on the Alpha forums basically purchased that from him because he gives the best price. I mean, I got 36K miles, 3 years for $1,200, and it's pretty hard to beat. So with that being said and everything like that, a lot of the mods under the engine bay, I don't have an air intake anymore. I have the factory intake. And I also have the factory diverter valve. And I gotta say, it's really hard to notice the difference. Especially when I'm using the Squadra Tune. It doesn't make too much of a difference to have those performance parts like the air intake and whatnot. But everything makes it worth it when you got your little son here. And eventually he's going to be an enthusiast too. Say hi, Jesse.
Hi.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. This was another edition of Alpha Mods.